Hello and good afternoon everybody, and welcome back once again for another video of DIY investing. Tezos has been one of my favorite cryptocurrencies for over the last few months, and I've actually been doing a lot of accumulation inside of this market because I do see a lot of profit potential moving forward. This is one that I wanted to keep you guys updated with because I've actually started accumulating more positions over the last few weeks, and I want you guys to know what I'm expecting moving forward with this market. This is one that I think has a significant fundamental use case in the next major bull run, and I do believe we'll see a lot of adoption taking place. With that being said, I think that right now is a very undervalued time for Tezos, and over the next few months we're going to see a lot of bullish action taking place. If you're new and just finding this channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and then click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any updates like the one provided for you here. Remember guys, I offer signals, and remember guys, I also offer a video course with over 20 different educational videos. So if you guys want to actually copy my personal trading plan and follow the trades that I'm actively taking so you guys can profit alongside with me, make sure you guys click the invitation link in the description of this video, and there you're going to get access to my Discord server. You can reach out to me on all of my social media handles. They're all going to be linked in the description of this video. So make sure you guys reach out to me and get access to all of this exclusive DIY investing content. Alright guys, we got a lot of things to talk about, so let's jump right in the video today. So here we are guys, taking a look at Tezos on the dollar. Now Tezos has been one that I've been accumulating for the last few months. It's one that I actually think is very undervalued in this time. Now, just taking a look at the chart, there was all of this price action that we saw back in 2017. Now, a lot of people will tell you that this stuff doesn't matter because it was taking place back when Tezos was only on maybe one exchange, and it was like a futures exchange or something like that. And so a lot of people will tell you that none of this actually matters. But the thing about it, guys, is a market cycle is a market cycle, whether it's been on one exchange or whether it's been on 50 exchanges. All of this price history is important, and it really helps to decide where we're at in the cycle. Now, the people that'll tell you it doesn't matter are the same people that don't know how to trade, and for me, I'm going to go with all of the price history that I have so I can make the most sound trading plan for my investments. Now, one of the biggest reasons for liking Tezos is the fact that they did just release staking. Now, on the Tezos blockchain, it's what's known as baking. You can basically stake a certain amount of Tezos, hold them for basically a year, and you'll earn interest on those. Now, on Coinbase Pro, I earn about 5.55% interest every single day on my Tezos that are just holding on the exchange, and so this is one that I'm really excited about. I think that staking coins are going to do very well in the next cycle because it gives people more incentive to long hold, which is going to create a lot more price discovery. And so for me, I've been accumulating a lot of this one. I actually posted a signal inside my Discord not too long ago, and we got filled on those. I also just picked some up today. It's a little bit more expensive than I would have liked, but in the grand scheme of things, this is still a really cheap cryptocurrency, and I think that we'll see a lot more profit potential before this bull run's really over. Now, if we drop it to a log scale, let's kind of go through and see why I've been so hyped about Tezos. Now, from an analysis perspective, we have cleared all major descending resistance. Now, what I look for inside of a bearish market is the fact that we have these descending resistances. And when we break from these, it shows and signals that the reversal has already started. So in this case, this was the bearish trend that held us. We had a couple bearish trends. We had this less conservative one here, and then we actually broke out from this point here, so we'll label that one green. And then we also have this outside descending resistance, and we actually broke from that in about the summer of last year. And so this is trending all outside, all major descending resistance. All bear market resistance has been broken, which signals that this is a new bullish cycle, and we're going to see more upside to come. Now, the cool thing I like about Tezos, let's remove these drawing tools, is the fact that we have all of this new volume that came in here. This is a lot of buy volume that happened, and it started coming in at this move right here. Now, this move was also the point in which they announced staking for Tezos so that you can actually earn interest by holding these. Now, the thing about this, guys, I think that we saw so much new value come in here because a lot of exchanges were buying up Tezos. Now, Coinbase is a big holder of Tezos, and I'm sure a lot of these other exchanges are as well, because the exchange themselves can buy up a significant portion of these cryptocurrencies because they have enough money kind of out there trading that they can really make a lot of moves inside of the market. And so they'll accumulate accumulate a lot of these Tezos. They'll pay back all of the stakers and they'll credit their accounts, but the thing about it is they're always keeping a small amount and small percentage of those rewards for themselves. And so this gives the exchanges a big incentive to hold a large supply of Tezos so they can make the most money for themselves. There's enough people, there's enough money in the exchanges that they can actually just pay back all of the interest needed with whatever money that they have laying around, and so they can hold these big supplies of the Tezos token. And so I think that that's a big fundamental reason that we're going to see a lot of bullish upside. Fact that this gives a lot of exchanges incentives to hold large amounts, and not only just exchanges but big institutions as well. Now Tezos is also a smart contract platform. It's going to be one that's more used by institutions would be my guess, because it's for STOs and not just mainly ICOs. So I think that there's going to be a little bit more trust involved with that. Now with that being said, guys, let's drop it down here to a regular scale and take a look at some things. Now we broke from all major descending resistance, and this is really that first impulse. And so we're just kind of accumulating sideways right here. But the amount of volume that's coming in, this is a very bullish looking setup, and I can't stress that enough. One of the reasons for that is if we pull up a Fibonacci retracement tool and we pull it up to about here, we can see from the low to the high we bottomed around this 618 Fibonacci zone. We had multiple reactions at this zone. We temporarily pierced below it right here, but that's actually okay. But that's actually okay because it was only under that 618 for a short while. Now, the thing about this, guys, is one line is not ever going to be indicative of the entire bottom, or that's the only area of demand. That's just not the case. The 618 is just a zone. All of these are just zones, and so the fact that we trended right in between the 786 and the 618, but predominantly got our support at the 618, tells me that there's a lot of buying pressure and support inside of this market. Now, this looks a lot like Ethereum from back in the day, and I've said that a number of different times. That's why I've been bullish on this, is because I do see a lot of Ethereum comparisons, and I see us at a really undervalued time in this market structure. And so I think that this next cycle is going to be very bullish for Tezos. The fact that we held support on this 618 and then we immediately got a strong buyback from this level with immense volume coming in, that to me is a very bullish sign. Now the current price action that we're seeing right about here looks to me like a very bullish setup. Now my reasons for that is because this is just an impulse wave, and let's actually remove all of our drawing tools and take a look at the Elliott Wave perspective of things so that we can kind of map out what this cycle is looking like. Now this would have been our 1, this would have been our 3, and this would have been our 5, and so then that would have completed our 1 wave with a B, C back down to the 618. The coins that hold support on that 618 are the most bullish coins because it shows that there's the most bullish sentiment actually holding those prices up at those higher support levels. And so this is just a big 1 wave, guys. And that's why I trade Elliott Wave theory. I wouldn't consider myself an Elliotician or some genius when it comes to Elliott Wave theory, but it does help me to map out where we're at in the cycle. And so this is just one big 1 wave, guys. Now, for you guys that do not know Elliott Wave theory, let's go take a look at kind of how it works so that we're all kind of on the same page together, because this is one of my favorite cryptocurrencies for the long term. I'm accumulating a lot, and I have been accumulating a lot of this one because I am very bullish on this, and I feel like there's not a lot of people talking about it, but it's starting to gain a lot more traction. Now, this is the way Elliott Wave theory works. There's 3 sets of 3, so we'll have 3 impulse waves and then an ABC correction, and that'll finish 1 wave. We'll have another 3 impulse waves, another ABC correction, that'll complete the 3 wave, and then you'll have one more final 5 wave with 3 impulse waves, and then you'll have a bigger ABC, right? And so this is the way it works. What we just finished in Tezos is this 1 wave right here. We had 3 impulse waves and then an ABC, and that finishes wave 1. And so if we take a look at Tezos, we had 1, 3, 5. We had the 3 impulse waves. We had an ABC correction back down. And so that finishes wave 1. Now what's coming next is wave 3. This is the most parabolic of the Elliott Wave theory cycles, and that's because wave 1 starts the hype. Wave 3 is where all of the hype really ensues. Smart money bought the dip. Retail FOMO is in at this time, and then you usually have a pretty extended 3 wave, and then we'll have one more ABC correction like this one here, and then we'll bottom, and then we'll have one more final 5 wave with another set of 3 impulse waves. Now, the thing about this, guys, is the fact that what we just experienced from this big volume outbreak was wave 1 of 3. So this is wave 1 of 3, and what's coming next is a big 3 of 3. This is going to be a very impulsive wave, and I'm not saying that it's going to go straight up like this, but I want you guys, I'm just mapping out kind of how the cycles work and how they look sometimes. And so we could see something along the lines of this before we have a little bit bigger correction, and then we'll have one more final 5-wave up. And so this is what I'm watching for right now. I actually picked some up right here because I don't think it's likely we're going to fall too much lower in this cycle. Now let's actually switch this up a tiny bit so it's a little bit bigger so that we can see here. So I'm actually going to hide the waves on a smaller picture. So we have 3 impulse waves. This completed wave 1. We corrected all the way back down to the 618. And now we had our first major impulse wave in the 3-wave. And so this is wave 1 of 3. We'll have another big impulse wave that'll take us, most likely my guess would be around $3.50, have a little correction, and then that should take us upwards of about $3 and $4. And so that's what I'm going to be watching out for with Tezos. Overall, this parabolic structure is just getting started. The amount of volume that's coming in here is very encouraging, and I do believe that we're going to start seeing a big upside push very soon. Now, that's my Elliott Wave count. I do believe that we're about to start seeing, $3.50 all the way upwards of $5 in this next impulse, and so it's going to get very big. Now, with that being said, let's drop it to a little bit of a shorter time frame and take a look at some things. Let's actually see where I accumulated some of my positions inside of this market so that we have a better picture and understanding. Now, this was the current consolidation that we saw. This is where we fell all the way back down to the 618 Fibonacci after our bigger term bullish cycle that ended around the summer of last year. Now, I accumulated my first bids at $1.11, so about right there. I was a little bit mad that I FOMO'd. I could have picked some up a little earlier, but you live and learn. I was accumulating my long-term bags and really didn't care if I saw a lot of downside. We did drop off about 20-25%, but it was all right. You live and learn and make mistakes. Now, I actually updated inside of my signal service in my Discord, so if you guys want signals, make sure you guys check that out. All of my social media handles are in the description of this video, so you can shout out and reach to me on one of those. Now, we bought at $1.23, which would have been roughly the very bottom of this little correction here. That's where we added to our positions once again inside of this after the blow off top in this short-term correction. And so I accumulated at $1.23, and then I actually just picked some up at a little more expensive price today at about $1.37. Now, this one was a little bit of a higher price accumulation, but it's okay. I'm not too worried. It was a smaller position, once again, for my long-term holds. And with the profit potential that I see with this one, I really was not too worried about it. And so we got about an average entry price of about $1.23 in between all of our long-term positions. And so we're at a pretty average bottom for this impulse. Now, with that being said, guys, some things that I'm looking at currently is the fact that we're kind of just riding this little trend line here. And let's actually drop it to a shorter time frame so that we can better see it. We have this little trend line here, and we're actually hugging really tight to that trend line, and we're just starting to round out at that base. And so for me, guys, this is very customary of a one wave. This is just a one wave impulse before we go into a much bigger 3-wave impulse. And so let's actually draw the wave so we can see here. Now, based off of Fibonacci, we have to go to at least $2.50 for this to confirm a 3-wave. It's got to be at least the same size as the 1-wave, but I actually expect it to be much bigger. I think that we could see something closer to along the lines of $3, upwards of $3.50, get a short-term correction, and pull back before we have one more final 5-wave impulse that should take us upwards of about $5. And so this is kind of what I'm watching out for this final 3-wave. That'll finish out the 3-wave impulse, and then we should see a little bit of a bigger sell-off, and then that will just complete our 1. That'll complete our 3, and then we'll have one more final 5-wave impulse, right? And so that's the way that I'm mapping out my Elliott Wave count for Tezos. Now, I'm not really looking to take a lot of profits in this bigger rally up. These are my long-term bags, and I'm a long-term investor. Now, I'm a position trader, if you're going to call myself a trader or anything. I like to take longer position trades that are months on end. And so that's the way that I typically play the market. And so this is my updated analysis with Tezos. Overall, I'm seeing a ton of profit potential to be had right here. I accumulated some more today. I accumulated more about a couple weeks ago. and I'm expecting a pretty big rise coming from anywhere from about 150 to 250% increase in value. And so I'm just kind of doing my part by accumulating while everything is still fairly cheap. We're just kind of riding this trend line. I think we're rounding out, and we'll start seeing a lot of bullish action, especially if a lot of these top higher cap coins start to kind of top out, the older coins. Bitcoin might start retracing a little bit, and that money's going to leave Bitcoin and trickle into some of these mid cap coins. Now this one's a little bit more of a high cap, but I think that it's behaving more closely with the mid caps. And so what you'll see is Bitcoin will rise, Bitcoin will start to top out, that new money that entered Bitcoin will leave and trickle into the high caps. The high caps will make their moves. After the high caps top out, that money leaves and enters the mid caps. And so I'm watching Tezos for that reason. I think that we're about to see some nice impulse waves coming very soon. The amount of new volume that's entered this market is very encouraging because it shows that there's a lot more new money entering inside of this market. So to me, I'm a big buyer of Tezos. I might look to actually add to my positions a little bit more today. Even though I took some small bids, I'm going to see kind of what the market looks like, and then I'm going to go from there. But anyways, guys, this is the video I had for you. If you found this video helpful, always remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more updates in the future. I really appreciate all of the support you guys give me. It really gives me a lot of motivation to keep pumping out awesome analysis for you guys. At the end of the day, I want us all to be informed and on the same pages together. It's very important that we're all here profiting as a team, and that's really why I made this channel. It's not about the personal gain because I've already gained so much inside of this cryptocurrency market. It's me sharing back this information so that we can all be here profiting alongside next to each other, making life-changing gains between all of us. Because at the end of the day, guys, I get my satisfaction out of knowing that you guys are informed, knowing that I'm producing the best quality content that I possibly can so that we're all making money together. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for the support. I will catch you in the next video. As always, peace out.